Hey guys, welcome back to According To. I'm Megan.
And I'm Ciera, and for this week's episode, Megan and I are going to be running through some of our winter and holiday favorites, and a few unfavorites that we thought of.
This isn't like a Christmas wish list per se, it's just like, I think we have categories of like favorite music, movies, food. I have like clothes and miscellaneous items.
Just like as the season changes, I need things to look forward to because like the weather is
not something to look forward to.
What I like.
We woke up to our first like actual snow this morning, and I was like, I wasn't prepared for it.
No,
so like I was not happy with that.
Yeah, I mean I'm never happy when it's gonna snow. I'm not a big snow person.
The fact, like, luckily it wasn't a lot, but it's like when it's in the morning, you just are kind of like, I don't know how this is gonna affect my commute to work, and like that's the last thing that I want to
my commute to
dampen my day.
Yeah, I can talk about that a little bit when we kind of get talking. But what's your weekly spotlight?
Since we last spoke, you guys, I am now officially in a relationship.
Update.
Especially for my TikTok people, because I've been kind of silent on there.
She's gone dark.
Yeah. So I know that's kind of quick, but I felt like that's where we were probably heading anyways. So that's my update with that. Did I expect this to happen so soon after Ciera herself also just got in a relationship? No. But it's kind of fun.
Crazy. Yeah, I was like joking. Did we mention this already where like you weren't officially dating your now boyfriend, but like we had that whole like get together where it's like it was at Haley and Ashton's house and like we were all there and then like all of our now significant others were there. And I was just like, this has never happened before.
Never in the history of our lives.
So, but it's fun. Exciting update for Megan. And
today was my first day at my new job. I'll talk a little bit more about that when we just like do our catch up. But yeah. And then it was Thanksgiving this past week. So
yeah, I think my spotlight is Thanksgiving and then Iowa winning.
That's always
against
good.
Nebraska.
That is always a good one. Especially like if anyone happened to be watching the game. The Iowa-Nebraska game, it seems to be won by a last-second field goal. Thankfully, it's usually us that makes that happen. But, like, no matter what we're doing versus what Nebraska's doing, like, it is always down to the wire. It's usually, like, a 10-13 score game. And with how bad we were looking, I was like, I don't know how we're going to make this happen. But also, I kind of felt like the energy was going to shift on our side because it was at Kinnick, and for the most part, we've been beating Nebraska when we play them. So we definitely had some turnovers that helped us out because the stats were not in our favor.
Okay. Let's kind of run through just like big ticket items, I guess, of like since the last week. Anything before Thanksgiving worth talking about?
No.
Okay, so Thanksgiving, we went to our grandma's house. Megan and I are fortunate at this point in our lives. We only have 1 to 2 Thanksgivings to go to, and they're all in town. And like I just like know people talking about like, oh, I've got to go to this house and like drive this far to
our relationships are also so new. I was like, we're not intermixing. No, probably not even Christmas either. Like
no,
that's soon.
Well, I mean, like,
and also they're
gonna go home for
both
Christmas.
of the people we're dating happen to not be from here, so they got their own stuff.
Yeah, at least this year. Not even worried about it. So yeah, and then our dad. We didn't really do Thanksgiving with our dad this year because we had Thanksgiving at our grandma's, and then he ended up going and like hang out with his dad, and then his girlfriend also, like, her family is from the same area that he's from, and so he did like Thanksgiving over there, and we saw him on Black Friday then for the Iowa-Nebraska game.
That was our Thanksgiving.
That was our Thanksgiving get together. I have to say, so Haley and Ashton hosted, and Henry is like, he's such a fun age really right now.
Getting to like an age where I'm like, oh, I can be a fun aunt.
Yeah.
And I haven't felt like that yet.
Right.
So I'm excited.
Because if you guys know me and Megan, you know, like kids are not like, we're not like huge kid people. Especially like baby people. Like I am not a baby person at all.
I've never gotten baby fever.
So like obviously I love Henry. Like I've
always loved him.
I've always been, I feel like a decent aunt. I never know how to say that. But like, I feel like unless I can communicate with them, then I'm like, I don't know how to interact with them. Like, I don't know how to play with them. They just cry. And so now Henry's like talking, he's saying words. You can tell like he's interested in things. And so like I was like actually like playing with him a little bit when we were at their house, and he's like learning so many new things. It's crazy.
I was playing a game with him and I'm like, oh my God, you know exactly which shape goes in like the hole it goes in. Like, this is insane. So it's been fun. He's giving hugs now.
It's so cute.
So I'm like, okay, I'll babysit Haley. Yeah. Before I'm like, I mean, I would still be like, ask.
How long do you think you could babysit for comfortably?
Like,
I feel like I'd want. I have
like
confidence.
a 4-hour shift first.
I have confidence.
If it bleeds into like, if it's evening, I could do the whole evening because like they're going to bed.
And he goes to bed. I have confidence that I could change a diaper because I wiped butts for grown adults. But I would like a maybe like run through of like,
maybe they've got like certain
how do you
list of
situate
items
him
they
or
do.
something, or sometimes you have to like distract babies and toddlers. I know like when they're getting their diaper changed because they like try and fight you a little bit. That would be my one hang up, would be the diaper change. So
I'm sure I could manage.
Haley's gonna hear this and be like, add you to the list.
What else did we do this weekend?
I thought we had more.
The weekend happens and I like forget.
I will run through. This is tentative. It's literally the second day of December, but I might be doing a little Vlogmas type thing on my TikTok.
Have you been doing stuff today?
Yes.
Okay.
So I can even get you guys in a clip right now. I'll record like a little
smile,
couple
everyone.
seconds, smile, say hey. So I think it's probably gonna be like timestamp vlogs because they're just easier.
Maggie and myself have been trying to.
Oh, I was gonna have to talk about the Iowa State game.
Oh yeah, I was like, that's what I did. That's what I did on Saturday. I also thought that I should talk about that, and I'm like, what did I do this weekend? Nothing apparently. But Maggie and I have been telling Ciera to like get on her TikTok grind, start doing stuff.
You gotta get on your Zoom.
Because obviously, I mean, Maggie's been much more consistent on TikTok, just generally speaking, for quite some time, and I have been fairly consistent, I'd say, since like the summer, posting often enough. And then of course, like I started my little dating series, of which my boyfriend has now seen all those videos. And then
Did he have a favorite?
He just sent me the first one, but he told me he watched all of them.
One of them was like 10 minutes.
I know. Hopefully he double sped through that one.
Double sped.
Double speeded. Was I gonna say anything else before I talked about the game? Oh, I'm just like, so I did the dating series, and then I've also been doing like, right now I kind of do like, I've done that, and then I do some hair stuff, and then I also will do like day in the life vlog things.
Some outfit stuff too.
Done some outfit things because those are easy. Okay, so obviously Ciera and I are Iowa fans. That's where we went to school. However, being that we're in Des Moines, we have much closer proximity to Iowa State, and then our mom's entire side of the family are Iowa State fans, and most of them are Iowa State grads. So, I mean, all season long, they're at every single home game, and we're always welcome, but most often we're like, no. Especially if it's like a Saturday where like the Iowa game is also going on, I'd rather be like watching it with Iowa fans. So that's usually like our dad. And so, however, since we played on Friday, I didn't have any game I was needing to watch on Saturday. I didn't have anything at all going on Saturday.
We also can do book updates when we're done with our catch up.
And so I decided, I was like, I think what I'm going to do, because like by they, I mean like our mom and grandma mostly.
The Iowa State collective.
Yeah. They always like offer to have us go up there and just like hang out and tailgate to like spend time with family. And so this time I was like, fine, like I will offer my time and energy up to go do that. So, and thankfully, another reason I was down to do this was because they decided they were not actually tailgating because it was freezing this past weekend. Usually they have an RV and they'll like set up outside and tailgate, but since it was so cold,
they were bar gating.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Bar gating?
At least one person called it that.
Ciera has seen one person call it.
What is it? I've seen it.
I've seen it. I'm not sure how widespread it is.
Yeah, but I've seen it.
And so we just went to a bar in Ames, and we were there from like, I don't know, 3 to probably like 2:30 to 5-ish.
I thought you were just backtracking for a second, so I thought you were like 3 to like 2:30, and I was like, oh,
No, I was changing my start time. And then also there's a bookstore in Ames called Dog Eared Books that was like literally catty corner to the bar that we were at. And so I was with Maggie and her neighbor, and they're both reader girlies as well. So Maggie was like, I should take you to like my favorite bookstore, which is that bookstore. So we went there, perused some books. I love doing that. Great time. And it was a very cute store. It was also, and it wasn't like sad, but like I think that part of like whoever owns it had like a dog that was very much frequently at the store and like had like a favorite like chair that it would sit in, and it recently passed away. And so now they just have like a picture of it in its honor, like sitting in like
That's
its
so
favorite
sad.
chair. And I was like, oh my God. But it was good. And then here's the thing, you guys. Well, I actually was kind of lucky. So at Jack Trice Stadium, one of the end zones has a fully indoor like area past the chairs where you can like get food and drinks. And my mom and grandma, their seats are in that end zone. And also, I'm not paying for a ticket. I was only going because there was an extra ticket, because usually like they'll have a set number of tickets for the whole season, and like they find people to
mix
go.
and match, yeah.
So that was part of the reason I was also going, was because this was not, I had a free ticket. I would not pay to probably go to an Iowa State game. And so I was kind of like, at the very least, like I have a warm, heated area that I could go in if I get that cold. But I came so prepared with my layers, you guys, that I actually, like, this was not the coldest I've ever been at a football game. I had...
What is the coldest you've ever been at a football game?
My memory, I don't know if I actually thought through, maybe my answer would be different, but like I remember being so cold at the Ohio State game, but I don't think I dressed adequately for that game at all.
I know I didn't.
Like I definitely was wearing
I
like
had jeans,
leggings,
Converse, a hat.
I don't even know if I think I maybe had like 2 pairs of leggings on, and then like a winter coat, Ugg boots, and then like a hat. And I was freezing during that game. I remember I got hot chocolate because I was like, I'm freezing. I remember having a good time at that game, but for this game, because I want to say it was like 20 degrees and then colder with the wind chill. Actually, I don't think it was that windy on Saturday, so that helped too. But I had leggings, and then I had a pair of sweatpants, and then I had my fleece-lined Ugg sweatpants, and then I had 2 long sleeve shirts, a sweatshirt, my fleece-lined Ugg sweatshirt, and then I had my super puff coat. I had 2 pairs of socks on, and then Ugg boots. I have a pair of winter boots that I honestly like. I have Sorel winter boots. I don't think they're that warm, so I opted to do Ciera's mini Uggs instead. I had feet warmers in those, and then I had my head. I think the head's the most important part.
It is.
Okay,
That's
so
what, like,
for the
when I walk
head,
to Vegas, my face.
so and I think I slayed this part. I had beanie on, Ugg sweatshirt hood on. And then I had an infinity scarf that's only supposed to be wrapped around twice, but I wrapped it around 3 times.
Wow.
So it was like kind of suffocating me, but it stayed like literally up on my face, over my mouth and nose. And then I had my winter coat hood over top. And no complaints about my head, mouth, nose, none. And then I had my mittens on with some electric hand warmers, and that should be one of my faves. I didn't put that on, but that was a good purchase. That was thanks to my mom. Those did their job for like half the game, and then I also packed a normal pair of hand warmers. Luckily, Maggie told me, she's like, you might as well, we have 1 million extra. And they did run out of batteries, so that was good.
Good.
But yeah, I was pretty warm. We stayed out for like the full first half, and then we had the heated
Were you
inside
like
area.
overheating when you went into the
Surprisingly,
area?
no. Surprisingly, no. I really thought I was going to. I did like take my head layers off, but then I was fine. Then we went inside during halftime, and then we went back out for the rest of the second half. It was fine.
I did not go to the game. My grandma did like weirdly call me during the day, and she's like, you can go to the game and I'll watch Vegas. And then I was like, I wasn't not going because I had to watch Vegas. That was part of it. I was like, someone has to watch him. But I was like, I also don't really want to go. Like, I have no desire
I was surprised
to
you
be
even
that
had
cold.
the Iowa State game on, because I was kind of like, Ciera's definitely not even watching the game.
I usually don't. I was reading a lot of
So it was
that
background noise.
afternoon. Yeah. Yeah. She was like, I really think you should go. And I was like, no, I think I'm good. She was like,
I made a TikTok too that was kind of funny, so you guys gotta go check it out, of our layers.
I don't know what that trend is called. It's like trumpet noises. I think it's big in like Japan or Korea or something, but it's like people like dancing and you're going around in a circle. So check out Megan's TikTok or Maggie's TikTok, either of them. They both
Maggie posted quite a few TikToks of the game, so.
Iowa State rushed the field. It was their first 10-win season. I guess them and Vanderbilt were the only two schools that had never had a 10-win season. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
So now Vanderbilt are all by themselves. And yeah, we've got some family going to Texas to watch the Big 12 championship now. We will not be going. Now we always hit the part of the year. I'm such a bad planner where it's like I figure out like, okay, I was going to a bowl game and I'm like, well, should I go? And I shouldn't.
No, I actually have like no interest in going this year.
I don't even know what the options are. It's usually always like Outback Bowl, Music City Bowl.
Sometimes the Pinstripe Bowl.
Yeah. If it was Pinstripe, I would for sure not go.
Okay.
Pinstripe's always in New
Book
York.
updates.
I finished 2 books since we spoke last. I finished The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I read because it was short, and it honestly did not take me significantly less time to finish. I give it 3 stars. It's one of those books where it's like, I know you have like a meaning and a message behind all of your layers, but you're using big words and I'm bored. So I was like 3 stars, moving on. And then I read our book club book, which is Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. And I read that in less than 24 hours. So it's been a while since I did that. I give it 4 stars. And it was good. It had such quick, short chapters, I read on my Kindle, less than 5 minutes a chapter. For whatever reason, even though the book is like 340 pages, like when it's short chapters, I'm like, I'll just keep reading all day. So that was a good one. And now I have, I think, 2 books left to meet my reading goal for the year. So I will for sure meet it.
I am currently reading. I also am like, I'm potentially could finish this today. I have like just under 2 hours. So like that would be a little bit hopeful, but not impossible. I'm currently reading The Songbird and the Heart of Stone. It's the 3rd book in the Crowns of Nyaxia.
I might read the 2nd book for my next
That'd be
read.
exciting. I am definitely like now, since last night, I would say I've kind of like now become like more interested in the characters.
Because here's what I did: hitting a wall,
running full steam ahead.
I don't know what I mean. Like I feel like that's like what you sound like you have hit.
I wasn't in a book slump with this book, but I didn't remember the summary of this book at all. I honestly don't know if I read it before I started reading. But the first 2 books are centered around Araya and Rain, and I love those characters in the books. And I didn't realize that this 3rd book was centered around Misha and a different guy. And so I just kind of like, it took me a little bit to really like get into the storyline. And I also feel like I don't know if the magic is the right word, but like the layout of like what exactly is going on and like the place that they're in is a little bit more confusing to me. So that was also a challenge. But now that I'm kind of getting past that and I'm like, okay, I've set the stage. I understand what's going on now. I literally had to highlight a part in my Kindle yesterday because like a literal jaw drop moment.
Oh, wow.
So I had to highlight that just to be like, I literally like my jaw like just dropped. It's like not that big of a deal. So like, I'm not trying to like, but it was just like, I was not expecting that. So yeah, I've definitely picked up my pace, I think, the past couple days. And I think I'll end up giving it like a 4-star rating. What else? I think next I'm going to do the book club book. And then I was kind of thinking I might do Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. And then I'll do A Rain of Roses. It's kind of my thought process. Get a little bit of a mix of fantasy here. Book club because I need to do that mystery thriller type of book. Then I'll do a little cowboy, small town romance. And then I'll go back to romantasy.
I've got some stuff on my Kindle that like, I have so many books on my physical TBR that I should read. But I keep hearing people talk about like Phantasma, and that's on Kindle Unlimited, I think.
Well, you might as well get it downloaded to your Kindle before they change that.
Okay, downloaded already. But I need to do Crowns of Nyaxia.
Maggie was showing me she has Recursion on her Kindle ready and loaded to go.
Ooh, that's
and I was like, I don't know when she's gonna get to it. Shout out to Recursion by Blake Crouch. You guys should read it.
Yep, it's a good one. Okay, let's get into our holiday winter favorites. How about I didn't categorize mine, so you categorize yours, and then like I'll put mine wherever. I wonder how many of ours overlap.
We shall start with movies is the first thing I have on here, so I'll start with that. I honestly, in general, like I don't watch a lot of Christmas movies.
I don't a lot of watch.
However, I do have a couple favorites. So I would say first and foremost, I have a favorite trilogy. That would be the Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen. I love all those movies, but I would say if I had to pick a favorite, it'd be Santa Claus 3: The Escape Clause. And then the first one, and then the second one, which is, what's the subtitle of that?
I don't know, but he needs to find a wife.
I love all those movies. I think they're classics, and they're done well, and they're not like,
and like to me, like
they're just
Tim
good.
Allen, Santa Claus is like the Santa Claus.
He looks like Santa Claus. Yeah. I did have an honorable mention that I was like, this would probably not be anyone's favorite Christmas movie ever, but A Christmas Prince from Netflix. The reason it makes
that at some point because we've only
we
seen
should
it
see if
the
it
one
holds
time.
up. Yeah. So is it really a favorite? I don't know. But when I watched it, I mean,
was like
we watched it with like, it was
surprise and
us, Haley, and then our dad, and like all of us collectively were kind of like, this was better than we were expecting. And so because I know we thought that, I was like, I kind of feel like it gets an honorable mention. Then we tried watching the second one that they released the year after. It was not nearly as good. Not really good at all. Because it was like focused on taxes and like her becoming like the princess. It wasn't as good. The storyline didn't matter as much. And then this
Santa
is
Claus 3 was my movie mention.
Deck the Halls is like really the only other Christmas movie that I'd be like, I actively am like, I like this movie. There are Christmas movies I will put up with, or like if you want to say you want to watch it, I'm not going to be a Debbie Downer about it. Like Home Alone is kind of one of those movies where I'm like, like I don't care, but like
Elf?
You can watch it. Meh to like maybe mildly like
Dislike.
negative.
Mildly negative connotation with that one. Which is funny because Haley was just saying how we should all
I know.
watch
I was
Elf
kind
and
of
then
like,
go to
I
an
kind
Elf
of left
trivia.
it as like, maybe. Then I was also going to do an honorable mention for like the Christmas classics, like those classic movies that you used to have on like that DVD set.
I love those. I forgot about that.
So it had like Frosty the Snowman,
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Little Drummer
Drummer
Boy.
Boy, and then like the Kris Kringle one.
Yeah.
Those are just like nostalgic. And you had like such a cute little DVD case for it.
It's like it's all like red. It's like a
Christmas storybook
thing. So cute. And like, I mean, this is, watch out if you're younger and have certain beliefs about Christmas. But I was like, I literally like used that as like, this is like Santa's history, like book, you know? This is the story of Santa Claus and how he came to be. I'll leave it at that. You guys, if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I didn't know you viewed it in that lens.
I did. I was like, this is historically accurate.
Next I have food items. I don't know if there's a specific name to this cookie, but those peanut butter Hershey Kiss cookies where you like just set
Those not peanut butter blossoms?
I was just gonna like look it up because a name just came to me and it was peanut butter blossoms, but I'll look.
Just like Christmas cookies in general, and then I also have like the activity of making Christmas cookies.
Those are peanut butter blossoms. Okay.
It's such like a fun task to me.
Our grandma makes some good Christmas cookies. We should be getting a tray here soon.
She should invite me over and I'll make some with her.
Then the chocolate cookies with powdered sugar that like crack on them.
Love those.
Love those ones. Then this one's like a source of nostalgia for me, but those pastel mints. Our dad used to have
the Bronx
them.
Mints.
They can be whatever, like as long as they have that certain taste. There's like the little pillowy pastel mints, and our dad had like a little specific container he'd put them in. And do I ever crave mints ever? No, but I will eat those mints.
I would eat them like candy.
I mean, they are kind of candy. So
but like, you don't really eat mints like by the handful.
Those I do.
I know. Those I do. What other Christmas cookies? I love sugar cookies are good, but they're more fun to like make. I feel like they're
not my favorite to eat. I'm also snickerdoodles, like one where I have to like be in a mood, and I'm usually not in a mood for those. But you kind of like those.
I like snickerdoodles. I I love the smell of gingerbread, but I never eat gingerbread cookies. I'm like, I should like try some more gingerbread this year. So I think I've had gingerbread, like a legit gingerbread cookie, like one time, and I feel like I was like, oh, this is good. And then
actually, I feel like for Crumble last year, I think they had like a gingerbread flavor for one of their cookies. I should check their flavors. And I was kind of like, this one's low key, like kind of my favorite of the week, and I don't remember one of the ones I had, but I also remember being like,
maybe
"Dang,
gingerbread
this
can be one
is-"
of our favorites. We'll try it out this year and let you guys know.
Okay.
And also just,
I
like,
also had
Making
one other
cookies
food.
while you're watching Christmas movies, like that's a moment.
One last food thing I had was hot chocolate because I felt like it needed to be mentioned. Gas station. I
hot
also had
chocolate.
gas station in parentheses. I'm sure Ciera and I have mentioned this already because how would we have not? Somehow along the way in the past 5 years of doing this podcast. So if you're a longtime listener, then maybe you know this, but no hot chocolate literally anywhere. Maybe Switzerland had some good hot chocolate, but they literally just had Land O'Lakes.
Yeah.
So that machine that they have in gas stations that combines the hot chocolate
With the water, I need it.
amazing. Also, hot chocolate tastes better when it's mixed with a water base.
And
The reason
not be accepting any further questions.
I will say, honestly, I'm a little off put anytime it has a milk base because warm milk to me always tastes kind of sour. Like it's not meant to be warm. And I feel like when you mix in whatever hot chocolate mix you're using, you can still taste the undertones of like a sour milk. And I'm like, this is kind of gross. So I, even at home, I always mix the hot chocolate into hot water. I think it tastes better that way. Ciera also, this is Ciera's not so, I don't know, maybe it's a lukewarm take. I don't know if this is a hot take. But some people will call warmed up or heated hot or chocolate milk hot chocolate.
And it's not. That's all I have to say on that. Like if you get some AE chocolate milk and put it in the microwave, it's hot chocolate. No. Because we already established that you and I think that chocolate syrup in white milk is the superior chocolate milk to store-bought chocolate milk. And that is apparently also a hot take. And like I could maybe see how like the chocolate syrup in milk heated up could
maybe call that a hot chocolate.
But if it's pre-made, no. If it's pink looking or it's like purple, no. Chocolate milk basically looks purple. And that is true.
Okay. Do you have any other food favorites?
I don't think so. Ham or turkey for Christmas.
To be honest, every single time I'm kind of like, it really for me just depends on the day. Because like sometimes I want turkey more. But then at Thanksgiving, because usually I thought recently I was like, I think I am more of a turkey person over a ham person. And then I showed up to grandma's at Thanksgiving and I was like, I got both. But I was kind of like, I kind of would rather have ham right now.
I usually eat both.
Will eat both.
At both gatherings. But I go turkey heavy for
ham light.
Turkey heavy ham light for Thanksgiving. And then ham heavy turkey light for Christmas.
They don't even always make turkey for Christmas.
That's why I feel like you gotta soak up the turkey then.
Some people do like a Christmas roast.
Oh, like a
pot roast.
I see.
Usually we're a ham family.
A hamly, if you will.
Okay.
Hold on. Pause. This reminded me. I think we already said this about like our grandma doing something funny a couple weeks ago.
Oh my
months
God.
ago, where she was like, I'm just not really a watermelon. And like she was going to say, I'm not really a watermelon.
Well, I don't think she really meant to say anything different.
Well,
but what she meant was like, she's not a watermelon person. Like she doesn't like watermelon. And like, but she said it multiple times where like she would just stop being like, I'm not much of a watermelon. And then the sentence would end.
And then Meg and I would be like, do you have anything else you want to say after that?
And then she'll just be like, no, I just don't like it. And she'll like just
no,
continue on with the sentence.
You didn't finish your thought. She did this at Thanksgiving. What did she say?
What is it she doesn't like? It was another food. Because then we also brought up
she
the
did
watermelon
the same
thing.
thing,
And then
basically.
she also was like,
She said it again. And like doubled down. She's like, well, yeah, I don't like, and then she's like,
she won't take the correction. It's like, we're trying to offer her a correction of like, you're not finishing your sentence. So do you understand why we're laughing? Because it's funny because what you're saying is that you are this item.
Yeah.
and she it's going
doesn't-
over her head.
Yeah. So to this day, we still don't know if she knows what we've been laughing at, but
And I
it's
don't
funny.
remember what.
And I hope she keeps doing it because it makes me laugh every time.
And I don't remember what food it is that she doesn't like. Probably a Thanksgiving food of some kind.
Anyway, sorry
Okay.
for the tangent. What were we talking about?
Hamily,
Oh,
ham turkey.
okay. That's all I had for food.
Okay. My next category is music. As a general rule, are you a Christmas classics or Christmas pop person?
Well, I wrote down, I would say I've got 4 songs. 2 are pop, and 2 would be considered classics.
Okay. Can I guess them?
You think you can guess all 4?
Maybe. I think Underneath the Tree.
Yes.
And then that's pop. And then I'm going to say Like It's Christmas.
Yes.
Okay.
Those are my 2 pop ones.
And then I'm going to say, I know one is the Michael Bublé, what's it called? Can I cheat and look at the titles? It's like the one where it's like, Baby Come Home.
It's Christmas, parentheses, Baby Please Come Home.
And then...
I'll be surprised if you get this last
Is it
one.
still... It's not Michael Bublé. It's probably
No.
something different. Oh, gosh.
This is like I would say it's a classic because it's older.
There's so many classics. Ugh.
This may or may not help you, but I think I've told you that people tend to hate this one.
Oh, Paul McCartney. The one that sounds twinkly and...
Wonderful Christmas Time.
Yeah. I just listened to that like last week and I was
Don't
like...
you like it?
And then I thought of like Ciera likes this and apparently everyone hates it.
Yeah. Actually,
I like it too.
Better than I thought.
I had confidence. Anytime your Christmas songs that you like come on, you're like, this has to be one of my favorite ones. I would say, because those are some of my top songs too. I will say,
You're big All I Want for Christmas.
I do like that one. I also am like other honorable mentions for pop that I don't think is dreadful because I'm usually like I like the classics more than I like
Santa Tell Me?
Christmas pop. Santa Tell Me. You already mentioned Like It's Christmas. We already said Underneath the Tree. Justin Bieber's Mistletoe's not horrible.
I honestly couldn't even like sing that to you right now.
You've heard it.
I'm sure I have, but like if you were to like gun to my head, sing Justin Bieber's Mistletoe.
It's the most wonderful time of the
okay.
year.
Yeah, okay. I do remember
so
that one.
much cheer. Let me like look up Santa Pop. Let me look up.
That's what we should call it.
Let me look up Christmas pop and be like, make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, A Nonsense Christmas. I don't know very well, but I've heard it a couple times, and I do think that's a funny take on. I gotta watch that special. Do you know she's doing a Nonsense Christmas on Netflix?
Is it just like a musical?
I think a mix of like music
show?
and like skits and stuff, and like it's
Okay.
like her version of a comedy special. What else is good? You know what this is not pop, but it's in the pop thing, but it's more of a classic. Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. A classic. Jingle Bell Rock. A classic. It's literally a Christmas classic.
Dubstep Christmas. Actually, you know
That was a phase for me in undergrad. And it could be a phase again.
you know what song I do like? That's like
House
a meme
trap
song?
music. Danny Gonzalez.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Gonzalez's Christmas song is like low key really good. And I do know all the words to it, so I'll turn it on every once in a while when it's Christmas time.
Okay, I feel like in terms of like actual pop music, we've said the ones that I think are actually decent. It's hard. I mean, I understand you gotta do what the money wants you to do. So like having like one good Christmas song is probably like best for most artists, but like that's hard to be like, okay, what's my Christmas song gonna be?
Yeah. And then to like hope that it stands the test of time.
I feel like the Jonas Brothers are like, that's like the best, most recent like Christmas pop song. I feel like it's like
People
a
said
lot of people
that
know it.
Cher's DJ Play a Christmas song like was really
I
good.
couldn't even tell you what that sounds like.
I couldn't either, but
But like I just looked there for the Jonas Brothers. That song is in their popular songs right now. It's got like 200 million plays. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Joe Jonas, when are you releasing your album? You have to let us know.
DM us.
DM me.
Okay, my next category, unless you have anything else to add music wise.
No.
My next thing was clothes / miscellaneous items. So this is just things that I'm happy I have in the wintertime. This season specifically, fleece / Sherpa anything.
Yes, I have that as
Vests.
well. I have been loving
pullovers. Ciera's wearing a fleece pullover right now.
What I've been wearing to work. So I can throw on my fleece over my scrubs, or I've got like my fleece vest that I can wear over my long sleeves. I feel cute. I feel warm. I feel stylish.
I mean, what more could you want?
And then like I also will wear these just like on a cozy day out, lounging around the house. My honorable mention for my fleeces, they're from Old Navy.
My next thing is a heavy coat. I have to give a shout out to my Super Puff from Aritzia, which while they're expensive, I mean, if you get a good coat, they're going to be expensive. My coat was probably like $300 and I got it as a Christmas gift. And it's like one of my favorite Christmas gifts that I've ever gotten. And I mean, Canada Gooses are like $1,000. So this is
Canada
a steal.
Geese, if you will.
This is a steal if you think about it. And I keep telling Ciera, because guess what? She takes my coat if it's cold out and she takes Vegas on a walk because her coat's not as good. Yeah. And so I keep telling her, like, you gotta do yourself an upgrade. Like, especially what I love about like when you get a nice winter coat and it has like the close like sleeve, the inner part of the sleeve of the coat like is flush against your hand. Feels luxe. It's like you've never felt anything better. So I have to, just reiterate that if you live somewhere cold, get a good coat. Because I didn't have one for a while. / like, I just think this one looks nice and it's stylish while also being functional and warm. And for the longest time, I had a coat in undergrad and it was fine. It was a puffy winter coat, but it just wasn't the same.
I have Uggs as a shoe option. I have the Ugg minis right now. I'm asking my mom for another pair. Or I've put on my list another pair of Ugg minis because mine are like water stained.
I think I told her, she asked if I wanted like anything Ugg related. I was kind of like, yeah, probably, but I didn't say anything specific. So like, I don't know if she ended up getting me anything or not. Because right now I just have like my slippers and like those are getting worn to the ground. But at this point I'm kind of like, I need like a bad pair, quote unquote, of Uggs. And then I need like a nice pair of Uggs.
That's what I'm planning.
So we'll see. I actually don't know if I did or did not get anything.
Fuzzy socks. Love like when it starts getting cold and you're like cold in your house. I just hate that feeling. And I typically am someone who like will wear socks around the house, but fuzzy socks unlock a whole new level of warmth. And I also like when I'm wearing, like I match my fuzzy socks to like my sweatshirt or something that I'm wearing. Like yesterday,
okay,
my sweatshirt had some red in it, so I put some fuzzy socks on that also had some red in them, and I felt put together,
cohesive, coordinated. I kind of bouncing off of the fact that you said Uggs, I had to throw in our fleece lined, and this is again going back to, well, I guess it's not fleece, it's like wool lined, but our UGG sweatsuits. So I think our mom got these for us, was it 2 Christmases ago or just last year?
It was 2.
Okay. When our mom got these for us, my original thing on my Christmas list was like I wanted matching sweat sets. So when I opened this, I have to admit,
I was like 2020 pandemic, like
yes, like set. People were just wearing like matching sweatshirts and sweatpants. So when I pulled this out, I was kind of like, this isn't quite what I was going for. So I was kind of like, I'm not sure how much use I'm going to get out of this. And when I tell you guys, like these have been worn,
like cost per wear
down
in the sense.
When I wake up and I'm freezing in the wintertime, that's the warmest thing I could put on, okay? So I wear that. If I have to take Vegas on a walk or outside for any period of time, I'm putting that on. And it's like, I don't have like a full-on like thing of snow pants I'm putting on. So it just feels like the perfect item I could need or want when we're shoveling in the winter this morning. Guess what I'm putting on? My little fleece snowsuit is kind of what I call it. So I mean, I never thought I'd wear that thing as much as I do, but it's amazing. And I love it.
I agree.
I need another one. I really don't.
No, I think one is good. I don't have any other like clothing or like shoe stuff. So if you do, let me know. Oh, I have a food one that I forgot.
Well, I had a miscellaneous. This is also like miscellaneous things. Like items.
Can I say my food one?
Okay.
Lifesavers in a box. Every year for Christmas, Mom, if you're listening, just a reminder. So, like, our mom will give us, like, candy and stuff in our stockings, and she gets those like, Lifesavers storybooks. I don't even do the book, but I just feel like they taste better from the
One
box.
time, you guys, this is a story that I just thought of. When there was a time when I was younger, I was in, like, middle school. I was choking. Here's the thing, though, when I think about this.
Choking.
Yeah, I realized after the fact that I wasn't choking. It was stuck in my esophagus. But I had one of those hard Lifesaver candies, and we were on the bus. Bus hadn't even, like, left the school parking lot yet. And I accidentally swallowed it when I wasn't meaning to swallow it. You're not supposed to swallow those whole. And when it's stuck in your esophagus, like, it feels very uncomfortable. And I was, like, getting, like, pressure, like, in my chest. And obviously if it was, like, it didn't go down my lungs. So I think at the time that I was kind of like, oh my God, it, like, is in my trachea. It wasn't, but it certainly, like, it felt hard to breathe just due to the fact that, like, I felt a lot of pressure in my chest. So I was, like, texting my mom, like,
what do I do?
I'm, like, not sure what to do. And, like, eventually she just told me, like, to get off on one of, like, the first stops, and she was, like, going to be there with her car to, like, pick us up. And I was just, like, trying to be like, what do we do? So she took me back home, and her solution was to take bread. And I don't know why I guess, like, she wanted it to be dense enough to, like, try and push the Lifesaver down. But she took some pieces of bread and, like, smushed, like, small pieces together.
This is one of those mom moments where it's like, how did she think of this?
I don't know. And her thought process was, like, if you try and swallow it, like, then it's going to push it down further. And so I think she had, like, that and then, like, some water. Because, like, the water didn't do anything. So then, first piece of, like, smushed bread. Swallow it. Pushes it down further. But still stuck. Now I have so much pressure in my chest. Like, I was like, I'm not okay. But then I had to be like, I can still breathe. Even though I felt like I, like, couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
So then after that, then we did the water. Then it all finally went down. I was, like, half, like, throwing up. Like, it was kind of a traumatic experience. But we didn't have to go to the doctor or anything.
Now.
So that's my Lifesaver story. Okay.
That was
Anyways,
my side food tangent. What's your next miscellaneous one?
Last miscellaneous item was a heated blanket.
I have heated blanket.
To be honest, I feel like I could get a better heated blanket, which is kind of
I think I could too. I think mine's
not
small.
my favorite because, like, I just got this heated blanket because I thought it was an upgrade from my last heated blanket. But, like, I still feel like it's not that good.
I feel like the issue with mine is that it's not long enough.
I feel like the issue with mine,
don't stay warm.
I would like a bigger one / like mine's kind of like more square than I feel like it needs to be. If it was like more rectangular, it would be fine. But it's like not as long as I want it to be to like just lay on my mattress. Because usually I'm using this, like, I'm laying on it as I'm reading, tucked in my bed nice and warm. And then I turn this off and, like, get it off my bed when I go to sleep because then I would overheat. Mm-hmm. Mostly, like, I just am going to overheat if I, like, keep it on. So, because usually, like, the fleece, like, even that when I'm trying to actually fall asleep is, like, too much.
What you got to do is get it
I want it, like, it needs
bed.
to be more evenly, like, warm is what I feel like the issue is.
Yeah. The coils are...
Right.
They don't work.
It's not spread out how it needs to.
I always like when I'm, like, I'm getting ready for bed. It's, like, ideal
yes.
setup. You're in your room. Before you do anything else, go turn the heated blanket on. Put
Put
the blanket back
yes,
over.
Yes. That's crucial.
And now, that's warming up. It's warming up the comforter they're going to be using so that you're like a nice little sandwich burrito when you get into bed. And you go to your bathroom, you do your little nightly routine, 10 to 15 minutes, pop back over to bed, hop in, grab your Kindle. Like, what's
Lux.
better? What is
One
better
experience.
than that? What a Lux nighttime routine that
Okay.
you just couldn't have in the summer.
I know. It's like when it starts getting cold, you're like, ugh, I hate that. And then, like, a couple weeks ago, I was like, reminder to both of us, heated blanket. Pull those out. Okay. I have 2 more categories, activities and then, like, the unfaves thing. Activities was kind of hard because I feel like
I have 2 miscellaneous things.
Okay.
Yule logs in the winter.
That is a good one.
So right now we're still in like our cozy fall cafe
We
vibe.
could switch, though. It's officially snowed.
Netflix they've got a couple options. They've got like the Christmas background music Yule log, they've got just like the crackling fire Yule log. I personally love like some background Christmas music in the wintertime. So could be switching here at some point. Maybe need to find one on YouTube because those are only like an hour long and then like you have to restart them and it's kind of annoying.
And you can get like 3 hours of ambiance on YouTube.
So might need to be switching that soon.
You had one more?
Just like Coca-Cola Christmas.
I love Coca-Cola Christmas.
So like their polar bear stuff. Lots of controversy about their Christmas ad this year, which I agree I'm not, a huge fan of. It seems like it was AI generated. I don't know if that was like,
said it was
confirmed. Okay. So like it was kind of weird, but just generally speaking, I love how Coke can seamlessly transition from a summer beverage to like, oh, it's Christmas as well. And I'm currently drinking it as we speak.
Okay, for activities, all these were kind of like, I listed them. Sorry, I bumped the microphone. I listed them. And I was kind of like, do I love doing this? And I was like, I don't know, but I'll mention it. First one, skating. And I said sometimes. And then I said might prefer if inside. Because this is one of those things where it's like, I don't know. This is one of those things where it's like, I don't actively hate it, but it's one of those things where it's like, if you're not good at it, you kind of, for me personally, like I don't love doing it. And I don't love being cold either. So, meh. It's an okay activity. I did, when I was younger, fall and like hit my head pretty hard on the ice where I got like a nice bruise. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on skating?
I like it. Like I like the idea of it. And then I think about when was the last time I went ice skating? And I think it's probably been like 4 or 5 years. So can I say I love it?
I feel like the last time we went, did we go with people in PT school?
Maybe
Do you remember doing that at the mall?
We definitely have been at the mall. So maybe it's more recent than I know.
How many malls have skating rinks? Like the Coralville Mall by Iowa City, ice skating rink.
Year round.
Year round, whenever you want. Although they do have hockey clubs there. But like, still, you could have a hockey club elsewhere. Doesn't have to be at the mall.
Merle Mall should get... They were doing that whole thing with like the Buccaneers, but then like that's not happening, but they're still building a skating rink. So maybe
you were just gonna be like, Merle Mall needs a skating rink. And you're like, they are.
Yeah. So maybe they know.
Okay, then I said skiing. Man, like maybe.
Should we go to what's that place in Boone? Should we go there this year?
It's one of those things where it's like, I feel like it'd be fun if you're good at it. But I'm like, I'm in a point in my life right now where it's like, how much do I care to learn something new when I also like, there could be risk of getting injured. And like, given what I do for work, I'm just like a little bit more hesitant to do anything where like I could realistically get injured. Like it's not hard to get injured while skiing. So I don't want to have to like go on like short-term disability just because I decided to go skiing one time and it didn't work out. So I have done some bunny hills though, and it is tiring, but I'm like
an unfave related to skiing, walking around in ski boots. We just talked about our whole ski boot nightmare, so I will not rehash that, but it hurts your feet so bad.
Okay, my next thing, which is like, okay, this is actually an activity that I do, I feel like every year that I like. Looking at Christmas lights.
That's nice, easy, simple.
You're warm in your car. That's a highlight. Warm in your car.
Listening to Christmas music or tuning into like whatever station.
This could be, usually when we do it, we go and like there's places to like drive through that are designed for like you're in your car driving through them. But like even, going and looking at like neighborhoods and Christmas lights could be good. We just don't.
I should take him on a walk through the neighborhood and look at the Christmas lights.
You were telling Vegas that?
Yeah, because we were walking and it was dark, and then I was like, oh, people are getting their Christmas lights up.
We should do this,
walk
Vegas.
through the neighborhood.
That'd be cute. See if he cared.
I did tell him that.
See if he would care.
He kind of hates those like blow up things, so I wonder if he would
might make him nervous. For Halloween, when stuff was like blown up, he kind of like would actively cower away.
So we'll see.
Okay. my last thing, we've actually never done this, but I keep seeing a couple of people on Instagram or like TikTok making TikToks about this and or like getting cute Instagram pictures because of this, going to like a Christmas tree farm. This is kind of like the winter pumpkin patch equivalent.
Mm-hmm. But
we've never.
Christmas tree.
I know.
So what are we doing there?
We need to go with someone who is getting a real Christmas tree.
And who in your life would that be?
I don't know. Actually, I think that my boyfriend said he was going to maybe get a real Christmas tree because he doesn't have anywhere to...
apartment?
He's like, I don't have anywhere to store a fake tree, so this one I could just throw out when I'm done. I was like, okay. I don't even know.
Creative.
I don't even know where a Christmas tree farm... I have like... I kind of know maybe where some are at, but like I'd have to double check. Some of them I just know as tree farms. And I'd have to be like, are you a Christmas tree farm as well?
Okay.
So that was one where it's like, in theory, I feel like that could be something I would like doing, but also like haven't done it. So I can't speak fully to that.
You gotta like really make sure you like clean up with them, right? Like to make sure there's no like bugs in the tree or like...
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We've never been a real Christmas tree family. Okay. I've got 3 unfaves of just...
I have 2 unfaves.
Variable.
One is shoveling snow.
That is an unfave. I didn't put that.
I did have little, it's not like a story, but this morning when I was shoveling, you know how like you like keep the shovel like down low by your hip?
You can see where this is going.
I was shoveling, and like sometimes when the sidewalk or the driveway is uneven, then you'll like run into a bump and then the shovel stops. I was shoveling this morning. Shovel's in front of me. Handle is right in front of my pubic bone. And I am shoveling. It hits the, I don't know, bump in the sidewalk or whatever. I walk right into it. Oh my God. I cannot even articulate the pain that I felt this morning. It hurt so bad. And then for the rest of the time I was shoveling, I was like standing off to the side. I was like watching out for bumps. So be careful. Also, if you're older, it's like actually really surprisingly common for older people to get like have a heart attack when they're shoveling their snow.
Because they're having too much pressure build up in their abdomen and they're lifting with their arms.
Like it being cold outside too.
Yeah.
So if you've got older folks that you know that shovel their driveway, maybe remind them, take their time, or have someone else do it.
Or use their legs or take breaks. Okay. I have 2 movies and then an activity. My activity that I do not like doing is gingerbread houses. I actively dislike gingerbread houses. It's kind of a tradition for people to do them at our grandma's house, actually for Thanksgiving, because then
which is weird, isn't it?
People like take them then to have as decoration like before Christmas time. That's like how we do it. And so every year our grandma like is like, who wants to do gingerbread houses? And I have actively like for the past 4 or 5 years been like, count me out. Do not get a gingerbread house for me. Do not get anything gingerbread related for me to do. I'm not going to do the tree. I'm not going to do the people. I'm not going to do the house.
To decorate it, I would throw it away right after. I'm not decorating with that thing.
It's just one of those things. I get so
and like these are
livid.
Pre-assembled gingerbread houses. Like mind you, they are pre-assembled.
I get so livid with the frosting that comes with those gingerbread houses. I actually cannot stand it or handle it. It is not a fun time for me. I get so frustrated. So count me out.
And you just make a mess and you're like, don't even know what to do for the design. So when you look at the box for inspiration, you're literally trying to copy it like step by step. And you're like, why does mine look so much worse than theirs?
And then, so since we sometimes do crafty things at Thanksgiving, my mom had bought a couple different things this year, for other options besides gingerbread houses. One of them was this like dry clay type thing. And I was like, this seems easy enough. I will do this. And that was also harder than I was anticipating. And I also got annoyed with that. And then the last thing I tried was this like diamond dart thing, which those things can be kind of tedious, but it was a small enough thing where like once we had the setup all done, you know, the most annoying thing with that? The most annoying thing is that the bags that they come in are not resealable. And then you have to figure out the storage that you're doing after the fact. That's the most annoying part.
Yeah.
But I have my little penguin that I did done. It's sitting on our bookshelf. That's our only Christmas decor that we've got out. Okay. I have 2 movies, unless you want to
Okay.
share.
No, I don't have anything else. So
Okay.
it's all you.
Polar Express. I don't like this movie. It gives me, and I know this is not unusual. I don't know what animation they did for this movie, but it's very Uncanny Valley. I don't like how they're animated. I just don't like physically looking at the movie. And so therefore, the rest of it does not matter. The other movie that I've never really liked, to the point where I'm like, I really can't even give it a chance. I don't know if I've seen it all the way through.
The Christmas Vacation.
No. A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh.
I'm not really a Tim Burton kind of gal. So, even like, there's something about like, because I'm a Halloween hater. I think I've already said that in this podcast. So, I don't want Tim Burton also extending to Christmas, and I don't want to watch the Tim Burton related stuff.
Christmas.
Yeah. Even like the Wednesday, because he directed like the Wednesday show, right? Or like was involved in that somehow.
I think so.
Like, I'm like, I just cannot, I can't do it. So.
Anything Tim Burton touches, Megan wants no part of it.
Okay. Those are all my things.
And with that, that's all for this episode. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let us know if any of these faves or unfaves were relatable or unrelatable. And
some of the miscellaneous and clothing items you could use as some Christmas list inspo.
If you guys have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, we have a video version where you can watch us talk while we're podcasting.
We've got a cute new set. You guys could go check it out.
We also have an Instagram called According To. We post, when we post our episodes. If we have stories where we want like input from you guys, then we post on our story. You can interact with us there. We post some funny reels and stuff every once in a while. So, lots of good stuff for you to check out.
We will talk to you guys next Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.